It's a new scope on here.
Whew, I tell you, there's something about like once the calendar turns to December, Jeff, like bourbon just seems to taste a little bit better.
Is that true?
I don't know why that is. I feel like holiday cocktails always taste better than although summer cocktails are also good. The problem might be, it might just be my raging alcoholism more than anything else.
Well, in this climate, it's a little hard. I was going to say maybe it's because you go outside and put some real snow and ice into your bourbon. But
no, maybe if you were home or if I was in Alaska, but
yeah,
any ice that's outside in LA is not the drinking kind.
No.
I'm sorry to say.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Blabbin' About Slabbin'. As you'll see, there's a familiar face on this side of the screen.
Yeah, I hope you guys didn't fall in love with Phil last week.
Yeah, thanks for everybody who tuned in to our Bowman Draft preview with Filmington last week. If you missed it, please check it out. He is a font of knowledge when it comes to all things Bowman, including this upcoming biggest release of the year, I would say, for Bowman, and probably one of the bigger releases in general is the Bowman Draft coming up. So please check that out if you haven't. But now Chris is back, and we're back to our spouting useless knowledge together, as we often do.
Yeah, heavy on the useless, light on the knowledge.
Yes. Yes. Hey, Coach Key, what's up? Thanks for joining us. So did you find anything baseball related while you were on your trip? While you were gone, did you?
My dad and I opened one blaster and a retail box of Topps Chrome Update.
Oh, okay.
And unfortunately, I actually left the box in their apartment. But we got like an Acuna insert card, which was pretty cool. But that's about it.
But, no debut patch.
No debut patch, unfortunately. But I went to Lids. There's like the locker room at Lids has cards.
Yeah.
So I went in there. They had one box of Topps Chrome, but they said that Dick's Sporting Goods in the same mall usually has that. I should go check there. So I bought their box, and they had hobby boxes of Heritage High Number. So I was like, all right, well, if they don't, I'll come back and grab a Heritage box. And they're like, sounds good. I hustle over to Dick's. They don't have any. I go back to the Lids at locker room.
Yeah.
And there's a sign on the door saying a 15-minute break. Like, we'll be back. And the time they put on there was like an hour later. It's like, are you guys kidding me? So we had one little box to open. But that's all right.
Well, I'm glad it wasn't too disappointing. With one box, it's hard to be that disappointed in a break.
Well, I don't know. you and I have been easily disappointed by one box.
What's up, Shelly? JV, thanks for joining us. Yeah, there have been quite a few of those MLB debut patches pulled, though. It's been fun to watch them get pulled and sell for pretty fair values, pretty large amounts.
I have not seen the Volpe get pulled yet, though. Have you?
No.
Okay. I told my dad we had a shot at a $150,000 card, and boy, did he get excited. I should not have even put that thought into his head. Because he's like, is this it? I'm like, no, Dad.
Every card, is this it?
Yeah, that looks just like the card before it. That's not it.
Well, okay, so then you can be disappointed by one box. He's expecting a $150,000 card in there.
We got a $7 Ronald Acuna Jr. But any Braves fans in here? I'm curious. I wasn't here last week, and I don't think anything happened after. But I'm kind of excited to see Jared Kelenic in a Braves uniform. I know Jeff is. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
That happened since last week, so that's relatively new. We didn't get a chance to talk about that. Yeah, Jared Kelenic is one of my favorite players. He's been a little rough.
Yeah.
He's a Wisconsin kid, so I've been following his career for 7-8 years since he was in high school. But now that he's in Atlanta, maybe that's the right spot for him to really break out. He's got the skills for it. Let's see if he does it.
Yeah, I mean, he'll definitely have very little pressure. They'll probably hit him 7th, 8th, or 9th. By the time he bats for the first time, they'll have already scored 3 runs. He should be able to relax and hopefully just put up some real stats. Coach Key, I agree. Any box where you get an Acuna that isn't a base card, it's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
And my dad has learned to pronounce his name properly, so that's pretty exciting too. If you can teach an 87-year-old man to say Acuna correctly, I feel like that's a win.
That's good. Is that a recent development?
Yes. Yeah, I would say in the last the last 2 times I've been down there, he really was working on it.
Wow.
But
Well, excellent job, Mr. Parsons. That's great.
yes,
Kelenic is a similar bat to Rosario. Ceiling for him is much higher. Definitely rooting for him.
definitely
Yeah.
higher. Yeah, and after the Marco Gonzalez trade, if they looking at the numbers with what Evan White's going to get the next 2 years, and what Kelenic is projected to make, they're going to pay. Assuming Evan White is just a sunk cost, the money's gone. If you just combine that into Kelenic, they're still paying Kelenic less than they paid Eddie Rosario last year.
Wow.
So I'd say that's just like some brilliant sort of maneuvering from Anthopoulos right there.
And there must be something with White, because I don't know how he just fell off the cliff. He got hurt, right? And
Yeah.
then I don't know. Maybe there's still something there. He's good bat, good glove guy. He's obviously not in any pressure situation now. Maybe they can just.
I don't know. If he turns into something, maybe they could flip him. They'll probably have to eat a bunch of the money. It's not like they have an opening at first base anytime soon, but I don't know. I'm really excited to see just get Kelenic out of Seattle. Did you see his Instagram or his social media post? He thanked the fans, he thanked his teammates, and he did not thank the Seattle management or the Seattle Mariners organization. Like, did not.
Conspicuously absent from the thank yous.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, they seemed at odds almost from the get go, or at least from when they were seeming to manipulate his service time. And
oh yeah, when they were aggressively manipulating his service time.
Yeah, yeah. So I hope it works out for him.
Oh yeah.
It's not like the Braves need any additional help, but congrats.
Hey, we'll take it.
Yeah.
But I will say, I didn't really get to bask in the glow of that trade for too long because a different left-handed hitting outfielder has changed teams and certainly garnered all the headlines in the last 48 hours.
That's the big news. Yeah, and that's what we want to talk about a little bit. I just for the heck of it, I went to look on eBay to see some recent sales for Juan Soto cards, and they've been blowing up. Just not the value necessarily. I don't know about that, but the volume of sales is just going through the roof. So
yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah, it's I don't think the demand is going to jack up prices on stuff just yet because I saw a lot of the Bowman Chrome autos that I was watching ended and were relisted for higher prices. So that's not going to help sales, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, he'll have that news conference where he'll put on the pinstripes, and I don't know, that could generate even more interest.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of Yankee fans, or Yankee fan friends, but the ones we do have are salivating.
Yeah,
at the idea of Soto in that lineup, and that they all want cards, but I think they're not sure which ones to go get. But I'm sorry, Jeff, I missed. Shelly the Turtle said something about left field.
Oh, left field is really interesting because Grissom is playing left field in Puerto Rico this offseason. Maybe we're platooning them. Have to wait and see. Yeah, there's been talk of a platoon, and not just another good trade piece if it works out.
Yes, I would say that Anthopoulos did a good job of sort of saying that the left field settled and they are going to platoon. But I think we both know that if the White Sox say, Dylan Cease can come to Atlanta for Vaughn Grissom plus something else, Vaughn Grissom's probably going out the door.
Yeah.
But
and JV says, I've been looking to pick up a nice Soto rookie card since the season ended, but there haven't been many new listings. Yeah, that's something to talk about too. Coach Key, once he hits a couple of bombs in spring training, his card price will go crazy until the curse of New York brings injury. Yeah, New York outfield is kind of a rough place to see a full season. And I'll remind you that Soto played every single game this year.
He sure did. Yeah.
Jorge, I never thought I'll see the day where people want the Yankees to get an amazing player just for their cards to go up. Jorge, as a baseball fan, I don't like it. Yeah, well, I got to say, I'm in that camp, Jorge, because when I was a kid, my favorite player was Don Mattingly. So I did love a Yankee, but the Yankees were terrible. They were terrible pretty much throughout the 80s. And then when they got successful and bought their way to many championships and ever since became the evil empire, haven't been a fan. But if there's anything that could make me somewhat like them, it's Soto performing well there because I'll be cheering for him.
Yeah, it does seem like this offseason is going to be another example of like the top players in the game migrating into the biggest markets again.
Yep. That's just the economics of the game. It's unfortunate as a small market team fan, but that's how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see like San Diego was in a decent market, and they went for it, but they just couldn't with not getting to the playoffs. They just couldn't afford to keep the roster together.
Sounds like they couldn't even afford to pay their bills.
It isn't. I have to say, it's insane. Some of the stuff in San Diego seems nuts to me. Like the team on paper should have performed a lot better. I know Machado was hurt, but everyone else should have performed a lot better. They had the Cy Young winner. Soto had a career high home runs and RBIs. They had Tatis, Bogarts. Like pitching depth was there. I know Musgrove got hurt at the end, but somehow AJ Preller's job security, the GM, is like in stone. He's not going anywhere. And their manager, who you would think would take the fall, probably the person I would have fired. Some other team wanted him so bad that the Padres just lucked out and they don't have to pay him next year anyway. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Bob Melvin's a bad manager, but he had to have done a bad job last year. There's just no other way to look at it.
Yeah, so the Padres get bailed out. The Giants pick up his contract and bring him over. But yeah, there doesn't seem to be a lot of accountability with Preller, and that's a lot of money to be throwing around the last few years.
It is. It's not the first time San Diego's gone all in and had it not work either. I do like the trade that they got though. Michael King could really be something.
Yeah.
And he had a great final 2 months.
And the Padres have a lot of young talent still, so
they do. And yeah, we haven't seen the best of Tatis yet either.
No, and he'll be back. He'll have a full season this year. I expect him to perform well. Machado should be healthy. Jorge Soto hitting home runs went down 5-1 and making it 5-3. I'm all about that. That'd be great. Have hit 50 of those home runs. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I'm not sure who's going to hit behind him, for the 60 games Aaron Judge misses, but it's still going to be fun to watch him just hook home run after home run after home run into the short porch. Hopefully they'll all be home runs the way Jorge described, but probably not.
What's going to be interesting to see is how he starts, because he's a notorious slow starter. He's obviously going to come in with a lot of eyes on him, even more than in any of his previous years. And we'll see. We'll see if he's able to kind of step up and change that narrative about his early season performances.
Yeah. So I was a little distracted. I was trying to read Steve St. John's comment, and it seemed completely devoid of any sexual innuendo or inappropriate references.
It seemed pretty coherent. Bob Melvin is better as a small market team manager with up and coming players. I don't know. I don't know well enough. I guess he didn't do well with the established players that they had in San Diego, so maybe that's true.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to a huge market, but with up and coming players.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But also, if Ohtani goes to the Blue Jays, I don't think he will, but let's say he does. Will the Red Sox lose 115 games next year?
Yeah. I mean, Ian asked the question, what would happen to Ohtani's card prices? Well, that's another discussion. I don't think he goes to the Blue Jays, but if he does, that's going to make that team incredibly exciting to watch. And that division is going to be really tough.
His cards, it's just he's got to stay on the field and just hit.
Yeah.
Although he probably gets a little bump in LA, but there won't be any signing bump in Toronto.
Agreed. If he comes to the Dodgers, he gets a bump.
Yeah, JV Baseball Cards pointing out that, there was a story came out that the Dodgers asked Joe Kelly if he'd be willing to give up number 17. And obviously he said yes.
I think that's because they're bringing Brewers legend Jim Gantner on the coaching staff and requested number 17.
Well, that's just smart.
His playing days. Savoy Special, how's it going? Jorge, I'm rooting for Soto. Yeah, he just turned 25 in October, so he's probably got a good 15 years left. This is crazy.
Yeah, barring a catastrophe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just seems to be getting better and better. We've talked about this before, that his style of play is suited to a long career. He gets good at bats. He's got a great eye. He's not necessarily the most athletic guy. He doesn't depend on his speed to carry his value or his defense. So, yeah, he could be hitting for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder, he might have a tough time in left, Yankee Stadium in left field is pretty big. So he might have some growing pains out there, but I don't think any Yankee fan or anyone on the Yankees is going to care at all.
And the thing is, he's shown times when he can be at least a league average outfielder, so he can do it.
Yeah. But yeah, so obviously if you want to buy a Juan Soto card right now might not be the best time. But sometimes you have to do it. Some stuff is going to come up for sale right now that's probably you weren't expecting to see or haven't seen for a while. There's probably going to be some auctions, so people are expecting cards to break records, but it's a tough time of year to buy baseball cards.
Yeah, I think somebody was mentioning earlier that they've been looking to buy a rookie card. Not a lot have shown up. I think that's because, as Chris and I know, with our Soto cards, that his market has been so depressed, so far down that not a lot of people wanted to sell it, especially when they knew some news like this was likely coming and there would likely be a bump. The last, I'd say, month and a half has just been kind of dead.
Yeah.
So it's even more so than just the usual off-season dip. I think people who had Soto have just been holding it like
Oh yeah.
us. And so, yeah, with this bump, like Chris said, we'll see some cards come out for sure. Whether or not it's the best time to buy them, I don't know. There'll maybe be another lull after this calms down before spring training. Could be.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, like once we're pretty close, we're getting close to Christmas. New Year's will be soon, and then like the calendar flips over. Once that happens, I mean, the first images we see Soto arriving at Yankees, where do they train? I forget where it is in Florida. Tampa?
Bradenton, Tampa.
Wherever. Like, I mean, that could send Yankee fans in a tizzy. I mean, who knows? But I would say if anything you like comes up for bids right now, I would certainly watch it and see what happens.
Auctions for sure. Auctions are a good place to look for bargains now.
Yeah. Yeah. Full disclosure, I did buy a Juan Soto card today. Not a good time to do it, but I've wanted this card for a long time, and they just don't show up.
Yeah.
And one came up today, and I ended up getting it for if I read 130 point correctly, less than the previous sale. So
congratulations.
We'll
That's huge.
Usually congratulations implies like something that's definitely good. So let's wait and see before we before we throw that around. But
Well, yes, and
but
hopefully it gets shipped and everything.
uh,
Uh, Coach
I
P said,
already talked to the seller. It should get shipped right to the vault.
"Oh, right to the vault. I like
And
it."
no sales tax, please.
An ROI question: would you rather have a raw Soto rookie or a PSA 9 to sell? Which would bring more money? Well, if we're talking a base rookie, in looking at the sales today, neither of them are going for a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I need more information, right? Like if it's just a base like update rookie card, I mean it's probably like a $15-20 card either way. So I don't know which one's better.
Yeah,
I'd
I think
probably take the
not
graded one.
might be outselling it by a couple bucks, but not much. Not
Yeah,
much.
yeah. In that case, I just take the 9 because I feel like the raw is going to be a disaster at this point.
Yes, almost all the cards that could have been graded probably were during that big rush.
Yeah, especially, and there's like 20, what are there, 25,000 PSA 10s of that card. So I feel like how many more that aren't sitting in Filmington's unopened wax collection are out there in really great shape that haven't been graded. I mean, who knows? I would take the 9.
So we're getting word from Yankee expert Jake that it's called Steinbrenner Field,
Ah,
but that doesn't say where it's located.
yeah, that's too. That's almost too specific, Jake.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
less
The moment
specific.
he comes walking out onto Steinbrenner Field in his jersey, wherever that is, somewhere.
Yeah, wherever that might be, I don't know.
Ian,
Oh.
thank you for the compliment. Thanks for watching Spitballing Cards. If you guys haven't checked out Spitballing Cards, please do. It's our other podcast on YouTube and Spotify, where we get to join forces with some of the best minds in the hobby, like Scotty B, Filmington, Teapot from Sports Card Investor, and we talk about a lot of things. So please check that out. Thanks, Ian, for listening.
All right.
She says really interested to see what the Yankees do with their outfielders. Judge and Soto are locked in the field. Stanton will most likely DH, and then we have a competition between Verdugo and Grisham. Maybe.
I don't know. I will say about Grisham. Grisham still. I'm pretty sure Grisham's defense is still really good. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the point of even penciling Stanton into a lineup is. Like he's probably going to get hurt, and if he doesn't get hurt, he's just going to kill you offensively. So I don't know. I feel like a lot of GMs would have just written him off, would have just released him and moved on. But when you bring in a player and take on that much money, it's really hard to admit that you made a mistake.
Yeah. I feel like the situation will sort itself out because, like Chris said, Judge is good to miss some games. Stanton's not going to play the full season, so
No.
Just hope Soto gets his games in.
Yeah, for sure. What was I going to say? Yeah, there was a really great interview with Aaron Boone on the MLB Network where he said he believes that Stanton's going to have a really big year next year. And they asked him why. He's like, well, he's already working out. He's already in fantastic shape. I know he has pride. He's going to come to the ballpark. He's going to come to spring training and really be ready to go. And I wanted someone to raise their hand and be like, was that not the case this year? Like, why would we expect next year to
Every
be different
year,
than
right?
this year?
Yeah, yeah. That's
But
the best shape of our lives comment we get every spring training. People coming in, but yeah, if
yeah,
nothing could motivate Stanton before, what's to say it's going to motivate him now? I mean, I like the vote of confidence from his coach, and I don't know what else he's going to say, but
yeah. I know that you can't expect the MLB Network to be full of like journalistic integrity, but I felt like someone should just be like, why? Like, really, why? Like, what should we expect? I saw like some newspaper had like a three-headed picture of it was like Soto, Judge to his left, and then Stanton to his right, and it's like the Yankee three-headed monster was. I'm like, if you're gonna give him a third head, it's got to be Garrett Cole. It's got to be Garrett Cole.
I mean, I guess they were trying to say outfield, maybe, but yes, there's no reason that that Cole shouldn't be listed, shouldn't be mentioned when Stanton is.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Jorge says Grisham is fantastic at center. He's great on defense.
Yep.
That won't change. Maybe they can get his bat going. I don't know.
Is he switch hit or is he left-handed? I know he's elite. I know he hits lefty. I'm not sure if he switch hits or not. But I mean,
good question. I know he hits lefty.
Yeah, I mean that's great in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, that can't hurt. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what the Yankees do. Like you said about the outfield. Spring training will tell a lot, but it won't tell everything because a lot of those guys aren't going to play that much.
Yeah. Shohei the Turtle, thank you. He's just left-handed. Steve St. John, you don't have to pump up Kelenic anymore. So for those of you out there, that person commenting, Steve St. John, Jeff, and I, we're all in an auction fantasy league, and I can see our buddy is already trying to pump up Kelenic's draft day price.
Oh boy!
But
it already starts.
Yeah, I'm probably just going to have to walk away from my laptop when that name comes up. It's just the safest thing to do.
Yeah, just bow out of the bid. So Jake did say that it is Tampa. It is Tampa.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah. All right.
But
yeah, so for people like Jake who are a diehard Yankee fan and they're in the market for Soto cards because somehow they have managed to not pick up any Sotos until now. It seems the obvious number one Soto card is your 2016 Bowman Chrome Auto.
Yes.
Right. Now, I should have looked this up, but as you know, I got a little waylaid today. But I'm guessing that base auto has a massive pop in the BGS population.
I'm not sure either, but I'm guessing it likely does.
It does. I was watching a few refractors in a PSA 10, and there were a couple. I think there were two listed for $6K. But when this trade was announced, those got ended, canceled, and put back up for one was like 7,500. I think the other one was like 8,000. So they're expecting a bump.
I saw there was one on Blowout also that somebody posted.
What was the asking on it?
I think $6,750. I want to say.
All right. Well, interesting. But yes, I mean that's far and away going to be Soto's best card. And I certainly hope. Do you think that the altered superfractor is going to come out? Going to come up for sale now?
I don't know. Yeah, for any of you who didn't hear the altered Juan Soto superfractor from that year, which is trimmed. Is it just trimmed? Oh, trimmed.
It's trimmed, and the auto was like wiped off because it went off the card.
Right. So that was bought back by PSA once it was shown to be trimmed and altered, and they own it. But so what they decided to do with it, they put it in a slab. They put an altered slab.
Yes.
And we don't know. It's a sunk cost for them. They've already paid out what they have to pay out on it. So Chris and I were speculating maybe it's going to be some sort of redemption or some sort of award in next year's Bowman set.
Oh, that would be nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are they allowed to just throw it up on eBay or throw it to Golden? I have no idea if they have rules about stuff like that. But a lot of people shit on PSA, but they made a mistake when they graded that initially. When they realized their mistake, they owned up to it. They bought the card back. It's like it's part of their guarantee.
Yeah.
But I think we all want that card back out into the hobby world.
especially since the other big names from around the same time have just been out on the open market. The
That's right.
Acuna.
And Harper, I think both sold recently.
Yeah.
And we talked about this on Spitballing, but I would still want that card. I mean, I don't really care. Like, there's still a one of one. So someone wiped part of the signature off and trimmed it, whatever. There's the only one.
Yeah.
It's his best card. I would still take a 52 mantle that had writing on the back of it.
Yeah.
As long as it's real, you know?
Yep. And it would be in the slab, authentic.
Yep.
And remember that he doesn't have any base cards in that set. So he doesn't
Right.
have first Bowman non-auto parallels to chase. Sadly.
Correct. Yeah, only autos.
Only
And then I
auto.
think he has two 2017 non-autos. He's in like Bowman Chrome and Bowman Draft, I think.
Draft, yes, he does.
But
But they lack that first Bowman status. So parallels of them are nice, but they can be gotten at a high discount compared to what they would be. But they're
yes.
not as desirable either. So yeah, that would be the top one to go after. But if you're looking at something else?
Well, yeah, if you're not a first Bowman Chrome auto guy, and I know some people aren't, then we got to go to the rookies. I would say I think the top's black. He's in 28. So one good thing about Soto is he doesn't have that many rookies. He's kind of similar to Trout in that way. He came up later, so Acuna's got more. Ohtani has way more. Devers, Albies, they're all in like every single set, but Soto isn't. So he's in 18 Tops Update, which is probably one of the best sets, one of the most jam-packed sets of the last like decade for us collectors. So I mean, I would go black or Independence Day. Jeff, what do you think?
Especially from 2018, those parallels are the best version of the black parallels, the best version of the Independence Day parallels that they have made. So they are really striking images. They're great cards. Yeah, and if you can get those, and those are tough grades too. So you might be able to get one in a lower grade, and I would say go after that rather than a more common card in the higher grade. For
Agreed.
cards like that, the grade shouldn't matter as much.
Yes, because they're numbered. I think the blacks are 67 and the Indies are 76.
Yeah, that's not too many cards.
No, I think Jake just provided us with some pop.
He did. So
facts.
I'm guessing this is the base Soto Bowman Chrome first auto. PSA pop is over 500. Refractor pop is over 100, and that's just PSA. So BGS, which was still the favored grading company when those came out, it is probably going to be higher. So yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah. So again, if you can get to a numbered card, get to a parallel, even if it's in a lower grade, it'd be a better place to put your money.
Yeah, I think if you could find like a blue PSA 8, I'd be thrilled with that.
Oh man, yeah.
For sure. In fact, we should be looking for that, Jeff. No.
Yes. Fun here while we're talking. Savoy said, wonder where you think Soto's numbers will be in the next 10 years. Who do you see him comparing with? Well, like I said before, he's still so young, and he hasn't even reached where most hitters reach their peak, which is late 20s. He's 25. So in 10 years, and this year was supposedly a down season, he still put up, what, 5.5 WAR? Is that what he ended up with?
Yeah, career high in homers and RBIs. So if just because the team stunk doesn't mean he stunk.
Right.
I would try to warn people.
A little bit lower across the board. Metrics were still off the chart. His OPS plus was over 150. I mean, very top tier player. So if that's a year that people don't get excited about, what happens if he throws together a full year like he did a couple of years ago? I don't know. Next 10 years, I see him doing a lot of good. He's on the field.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would look at like a 10-year run for Joey Votto, and I would say that's probably like what we're all hoping for, like someone like that. Really good eye,
with more power, probably.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more power. Yeah.
In Yankee Stadium, was a career high in home runs last year, and he's got the swing for it. I know a lot of people are upset that he walks so much, that he should just be swinging more, but I disagree.
Yeah, of course. There's not much you can say to that. Yeah. But you just kind of sort of nod and smile and just move on.
Yeah.
But I don't, as good as Votto's like prime was, he never had Aaron Judge hitting behind him. So it should be. I don't think. I mean, I'm not expecting Soto to put up Acuna level runs scored numbers, but I could easily see like 120 runs getting on base the way he does.
Yeah, the Yankees just need that lineup to stay healthy. That's
Yeah,
it.
they just need, assuming Judge is in for a full season, they need someone behind Judge now because
Yeah,
that person is going to see clogged bases all day long.
yeah.
Maybe it's Rizzo, maybe it's someone else that's not there yet, but that's your fantasy sleeper, right? Not sleeper, but if you're looking to win RBIs in your fantasy league, that's the guy.
The target. Yeah, he's going to face a lot of hitters with a lot of pitchers with runners on base. Shelley is throwing us some lifetime stats at Yankee Stadium.
Okay.
Flash of 261, 393, 826. 4 homers, 9 RBIs, 5 walks, and only 4 strikeouts in 28 at bats. Yes, crazy small sample, but impressive.
Yeah, yeah. I think we can just extrapolate that over 600 at bats and call it a day.
Yeah, let's see that happen. That's
Easy peasy.
that's a lot of home runs.
Yeah, that's a lot of home runs. That is a lot of home runs for a guy who last year was criticized for pulling the ball too much, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he should just keep doing that.
Well, he's definitely got power all around the ballpark.
Oh yeah.
Won't hurt to be pulling in Yankee Stadium.
No, I think a lot of Yankee fans are going to be pulling in Yankee Stadium. Looking at his numbers by the All-Star break, or probably after the All-Star break. Let's face it. All right, so his update rookies at a flagship, those are great. I would expect the black and the Indy to fetch a pretty fancy number right now. We know there's one sitting at Burbank Sports Cards for about $4,500.
Maybe.
The blacks.
Unless somebody scooped it up today.
Unless someone scooped it up. That's I can't imagine that's going to sit there much longer.
No.
At that price point.
No.
And the Independence Day, if you're watching and you have not seen a 2018 Independence Day, please go Google one right now. And it's a phenomenal parallel that Topps made. And it's a shadow of what it is right now, unfortunately. Right. Of what it was. Yeah.
Is now what it was, exactly.
Yeah.
So, all right. So those parallels, top of the game. But what about he's also got some decent SP options to look at.
He does. Yeah. So he's got an SP, which I actually have right next to me. It's this hands on hips. It's kind of a cool card. If you don't like horizontal cards, 2018 image variations are not for you.
Yeah.
But so this is cool. It is a short print, but it is also not rare. There's over 300 PSA 10s of it right now. So it's fairly affordable. The last sales I've seen right now are around $450, give or take. So if you want to get into the Juan Soto game and you're looking for a sub $500 entry fee, that's a pretty good place to start, I would think.
Yes, it's not rare like Chris says, but compared to the print run of his base cards, his base rookie cards, which are in the, what did you say, about 25,000 for PSA?
Yeah, it's over 20,000 PSA 10 for sure.
So at least there's some reasonable floor there.
Yes. Yeah, and plus it's a cool image. Oh god, my hamstring is cramping.
Oh,
all the Soto talk is just shattering my body.
All the Stanton talk, I think it's probably that.
Oh my god. Yeah, Jeff and I played 2 softball games last night. It was 13 innings of slow pitch softball, which at one point would be no problem for us, but now is a pretty big problem.
Especially as far as Southern California goes, it got pretty cold. So having to sit in between games, it was enough to make a middle-aged man cramp up.
Oh my god, yeah, I'm dealing with a little plantar fasciitis in one foot. Jeff's got like a shoulder impingement and some lower back issues. Sometimes when you turn 40, I want you guys to really think about some euthanasia because it might not be the worst thing in the world. Like your body is just going to start falling apart.
And if you're not there yet, do everything you can until you get there because your body heals so much faster when you're younger.
Oh my god, I'm expecting a tooth to just fly out of my mouth like any day now. But anyway, yeah. So that is his SP, hands on hips, a little attitude, but he's got an SSP, which is a really cool card. Yes. I don't have one here. It's called Gatorade Bath, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Really cool shot of him just getting a bucket of Gatorade dumped on him. That might be I don't know. The black and the Indy are so cool, but that image of the Gatorade is such a great shot.
It is, yeah. And I think there were Gatorade shots before. I know Trout had 1 or 2 before, but that kind of really popularized the Gatorade bath shot, and we've seen a lot of cards featuring a player getting doused with the post game.
Yeah, Freeman actually has a 2017 SSP. That's a Gatorade bath. Just
Okay.
throwing that out there. But that's a little bit pricey. So this Soto, I think there's about 80 PSA 10s, which is still that's a pretty big number for SSPs.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the last sale was. There must have been one recently. The last one I saw was about a month ago. I think it was about $3,500. So, or maybe a little bit less. So I'm guessing it's sitting right around there right now. And that card's been on a journey, Jeff. What was the high that we saw in like the 2020, 2021 Soto craze?
I don't even know.
$10,000. Yeah. So I'm not saying it's going to go back up. I don't think any card is going to get to where it was in the middle of or early 2021. But it's still a really cool card. And if you like Soto, if you're a Yankee fan, that's a great one to have. It is horizontal, though, be forewarned. But it's a really cool image. If you want, I was going to say, if you want to see what they look, if you're on Instagram, go see Cava Cards, CAVA Cards. He's got 4 of those bad boys on his page right now.
Jeez.
Really impressive collection.
Damn, Steven. Okay, Savoy says, given some SP have higher numbers than serial number cards in regards to parallels in Topps Chrome, do you still choose SP over numbered cards?
Ooh. I guess we have to go on like a... Oh, Shelly the Turtle, thank you very much. December 4th, a Gatorade Bath PSA 10 sold for $27.99.
Jeez.
Man, you wonder if that guy maybe should have waited 3 more days.
The seller, not the buyer. Man.
Yeah, well, the buyer's very happy. Yeah, the seller for sure. So yeah, that's a great question. The assumed, if you read blowout forums or if you're on those a lot, like Jeff and I are, because we're dorks, the general consensus on numbers in 2018 was like 3,000 for the SP and 300 for the SSPs. Now that's not etched in stone or anything, but that's a pretty good approximation, I would say. So what's lower than that? So I would take, if you're asking me would I choose this over the Topps Gold, I'll take Topps Gold over the SP because those have existed since 2000 or 1992, and they're really, those are tough to gem.
Okay, yeah.
Certainly fewer gems than there are of the SP. I don't know, Jeff, of those two, what would you pick? The numbered gold, which should be out of 2018, or the SP of no explicit number?
In that case, I'd want to look. I know, like Chris mentioned, the 2018 golds were really. Yeah, I'm guessing the gem pop is quite a bit lower. So in that case, I would go with the gold, even though it's numbered, but the numbers are higher. But it's almost on a case by case basis. It's really hard to say.
Yeah.
And I know he also mentioned Topps Chrome as well. So I'm not sure if we're just talking Chrome or. So yeah, it is hard to say. Chris and I are big fans of super short prints, and we feel like they've been kind of underappreciated in the hobby. So we might be a little biased more towards them than some people who just like to stick to the parallels that have been out there for a long time. So it's hard to say.
It is hard to say, but when you start looking at pop reports and you see the differences, like for example, you and I, for Soto specifically, about a year ago, I'm trying to think when it was. Less than that. We targeted a Topps Black.
Yeah.
As a card we were going to go after, knowing there's only 67 of those. Oh, excuse me. And there are more Gatorade baths, almost by 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
So I would say that, yes, I would go for these 2018 rookies. I would go flagship Black over SSP.
Yeah. Agreed.
Almost for sure. And by the way, the golds look, I don't have a Soto gold here, but there's a Devers gold. So you can see like the color is all over the card. As opposed to now with the golds are just around the border.
Yeah. Parallels are really incredible.
Yes. Yeah. So I would definitely say Black and Indy over, I take the Indy too. Black and Indy over the SSP.
Right. But again, you don't really know because in 2018, they also had Mother's Day and Father's Day parallels out of 50. So they're pink and blue, lower numbers, but compared to the higher number of the Independence Day, you'd take the Independence Day all the time over those. So
yes, yeah, those two are really low numbered, but they never really had the hobby cachet, that the Black and Indy do. Whatever Jake is saying about Aaron Judge, we could. I'm curious what those prices were.
Yes, so I'll bring that up. Collector's Dream, thanks for joining. Uh, Speaking from personal experience, I purchased a Judge rookie camo, so that's out of 25,
Yep.
BGS 9.5, for half the price I paid for his flagship rookie SSP, when the known print run is certainly 8 times that of the camo.
Ooh.
Prioritize the creativity and uniqueness of an SP. Yes, and I'd say camo's another one of those that's underappreciated in the hobby. It's only to 25, but if you're talking to like say a 2018 camo versus Independence Day, people are going to take the Independence Day over the camo, even though it's numbered higher. So that's
Yeah. The camo is one of those cards you kind of have to explain what it is because it
yeah,
just has not been around as much. But okay, so Jake, to Jake's point, if we look at the pop reports, the Judge 2017 rookie SSP is it pops under 20, I think. Like that's 2017 SSPs. You rarely see them. 2018, they're especially in update the rookies. They're way more common than they
yeah.
were. Even the Series One
The
SSPs.
I've not heard the expected print runs on the 2017, but I believe it was far lower than what the 2018s were.
Yes, I did definitely. So that Aaron Judge, Jake, you have one. What's the PSA 10 pop on that? I felt like the last time I looked, I thought it was like 11 or like it was. Felt like it was a weird prime number, 11 or 17 or something like that. But those are definitely lower. I saw Cardboard Showcase also had another way to go.
Yeah, this is words of wisdom from Cardboard Showcase. Just break the bank and grab both the black and the SSP,
Yeah, I
which
mean,
you
I
can't go
can't.
wrong.
That's pop 11.
Top 11.
Why is that in my head, Jeff?
Yeah. Wait till
I've
that's
had a I've had a prescription sitting at Walgreens for 7 days. I can't remember to go pick up. But I can tell you what the PSA 10 pop report of an Aaron Judge card that I don't own and have never tried to buy is.
that's
What is
called
the matter with me?
middle-age baseball card addict problems.
Ay, ay, ay. Speaking of which, my wife and I are going on a upcoming 7-day vacation to celebrate our wedding anniversary. And it
Congratulations.
was well, we're not there yet, Jeff. let's not count those chickens. But it was made very clear to me today that from the moment the moment I go on airplane mode on the plane to leave, I am not allowed to talk about baseball cards one time.
Okay.
Completely off the table.
All right. I got a couple questions about this, and maybe your wife's watching and she can clarify this. Does that mean just to her or to anybody?
I think I'm not supposed to be visibly looking at baseball cards as well. So if we're like lounging by the pool and she glances over and I have an eBay page up, it could go south for me very quickly.
Okay. Does she know that we've planned a special 4-hour Blabbin' Live poolside?
She has not, and it's not a terrible time to break that news to her.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
that's going to be a great episode. And in case we see you getting murdered halfway through,
that should help the
it'd be
ratings. If nothing else.
for sure. Yeah.
I'll take a stabbing if it gets us a few more subscribers. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
All my cards suck. You're not kidding. It could definitely be. Now, what would be amazing is if I had a package like shipped to the hotel in Mexico. Like I bought a card, like paid PayPal, and it somehow made its way to the hotel in Mexico. That would be great. And by great, I mean the end of my existence on Earth.
All right. If anybody's watching, you want to help me find where Chris is staying, we'll make sure he gets a care package sent there with a couple boxes of Series 1, 2023 Series 1 wax, because I'm sure that'll be fun to open.
Oh, yeah. She did say her quote was, "So get it out of your system before we leave." And there was some swearing in there. I'll let you imagine the colorful adverbs that were thrown in. But yeah, so I might be pretty active on social media for the next like 6 days.
Well, and we might have to get another blabbing in before you leave. Then
absolutely, we may have a PSA package to open up in the next few days. A very important PSA package.
Yeah. Speaking of PSA, they have their new system set up. So when you send your cards in, now they give you. Let's send them some base. Yes.
Don't let me die for base cards. Come on, give me something. And no wave refractors either. Come on, a fake receipt in the box. Wow, all my cards suck. That's some devious shit right there.
All right, I'm liking these ideas more and more.
That's a really good idea.
With PSA now, they give you an estimated completion date on your cards, which is nice. And instead of the categories they had before, now they've got a new series of categories of steps that the cards go through. So Chris and I received an email that our grades were available on a 6-card regular sub that we submitted maybe 2 weeks ago, something like that. It hasn't been long. Oh, Savoy, Savoy must just be joining about asking a question about your Simpsons.
Yeah, Savoy, I am a huge Simpsons fan. If you're on Instagram and you want to send me Simpsons quotes at any time of day, the first 10 seasons, I'm pretty good at responding with the next line. But I haven't watched a lot after like season 11 or 12. But the first 10 seasons are ingrained in my head.
Well, that along with the Aaron Judge SSP population from 20.
Right. Only the important things, right?
So we got this email that said our card grades were ready, and as you guys know, we like to not know what the grades are, so we're just sweat it out on a live blabbing. But so it told us the grades were done, so I thought, great, we might have them even for this week. However, then I went looked, and now they have a quality check after your grades are released.
Jeff, if I may, someone just wrote Batman's a scientist. So if you give me a second, it's not Batman. Go ahead, as you were.
Also, we got a message from M. Parsons asking if baseball cards float.
The slab? Oh, does a slab float? Interesting.
That might be a good test on your trip.
Yeah, raw ones for sure. Well, the raw would probably sit at the surface till it absorbed enough water, and then I bet it would just drift away. But anyway, I'm sorry, Jeff. As you were, continue.
I believe that's an invitation from M. Parsons to bring some cards along to perform these experiments. That could only be the tell there.
Yeah, that's the only way to interpret it. Agreed.
So yeah, they've got a quality check after your grades are available, which makes me wonder, like, had we looked at our grades and complained about them, could we get back to them and say, why do we get this grade? Please check the quality again on that. So I'm not sure. This is a new thing. The quality usually came before the grades were available. Now grades are available, quality check, and I believe it's in the
finalizing or completing
phase now. So it has to go through completing, and then it's shipped. So I don't know how long those steps take. They just want to make us wait longer, or want us to look at the grades through their new PSA reveal system, where you can reveal the card and turn it over, but it doesn't offer the same sort of
suspense
that it does.
That's right. So, Jeff, do me a favor. Could you just go back in the comments?
Yeah.
Tell me the username that said Batman's a scientist.
Forgerelli1.
All right, Forgerelli1. I will follow with a question for you. What is the name of the big possum that lives in the monorail? Anyway.
And those of you who aren't Simpsons fans, like me, have no idea what Chris is talking about, but Forgerelli1 does. Shelly the Turtle says, didn't Scotty B do a video on floating slabs? That's
probably. Yeah. We'll find out. I'm admittedly behind in Scotty B's videos. As a sort of a partner of his now, I'm embarrassed to admit I'm a little bit behind. It was a rough week.
Backlog too. There's a lot of his earlier ones that I haven't seen yet.
Right.
So Specials saw some person make a custom 1984 Topps baseball Homer Simpson card. All right, I can see that. So you got the little portrait in the lower corner.
Yes, they did a full set from the softball episode.
Oh yeah,
of the entire team, which is pretty great.
Yeah,
I wish I would like also. I wish I messaged that guy and I said the next time he does it, he should also do a set for Mr. Burns' originally proposed team.
Oh, what was that?
Mordecai Three Finger Brown was on it. And as Smithers pointed out, his left fielder has been dead for 135 years. So, it wasn't the most up-to-date roster of players.
So Mr. Burns is putting some all-time greats on there, but they've been all-time dead for a long time.
Correct, yeah. He's notoriously a very old man.
Jorge has a very important question. Is Austin Riley getting some justice with this quality check? I believe he's talking about the Austin Riley who received a 5 on our last reveal.
Yeah, I need to do a post about this card. So we cracked it out, and when you look at it from the side, I don't know how to describe it, Jeff. It's almost like a slight warping, like a very, very slight warping. You can't see anything on the surface. Like there's no bend, there's no crease,
No
but
crease.
there's just like a very slight warping, which if you put it down on the table, like one corner is just slightly high, like slightly off the table.
Yeah, and to illustrate it for our viewers, it's similar to a Topps Chrome card. If you put a Topps Chrome card down after it's been open for a while, it doesn't always lay flat. It has kind of a
Right.
natural, I don't know, bend to it, you might
I
say,
don't
or
like the word bend, but but yes, but it's
curve.
very slight. It's not even like as bad as a Topps Chrome card that's been
No,
sitting out for a while.
no,
Um,
it's very mild case of that, but hard to believe that that's what got it a 5. But
we
that's the only.
saw nothing else. Yeah. But what's interesting, I told Jeff about this. I checked the PSA pop, and there's a second 5. So my guess is that this is not the first time that card got a 5. It probably got a 5, but still looks great. Seller cracked it and just sold it again, and now it got a 5 again. That's my guess. So we'll see. I'm
Oh,
gonna put.
this is a word to anybody on eBay. If you see one come up from Chris's account, great, and he
Yep.
promises PSA 10 question mark, you might want
Yep.
to.
Oh yeah. The description will be, looks great to the naked eye.
Yeah,
Pack fresh.
yeah,
But yeah,
gradable.
so I don't really know what to do. My guess is we tried to put it in like to really compress it between two pieces of plastic to see what happens. So I don't know. Probably I'll just leave it raw. And if he ever does a signing, like a mail-in signing, I'll send it in and get him to sign it. I'll slab it authentic, and that'll be that.
Yeah,
But
it'd be likely be a 1 of 1. Get that signed.
yeah, it's still a super rare, really cool card. But I just don't really see the point in trying to grade it again, unless when we take it out of that plastic thing, we'll see how it looks. But I'll probably just leave it as is. I was
All right.
gotten. Someone on eBay got me.
Mad City and Shelly. It's been confirmed that Scotty B did a floating card. So M Parsons, you may want to check that out, or you may want to do your own video on this vacation, seeing which slabs float. I'm sure
Yeah.
Chris would appreciate that.
It would be cool, actually. We'll be in Cabo in Mexico. We can check the currents, and if someone wants to like maybe go to Huntington Beach and just sort of throw a couple slabs in the ocean, we'll
Yeah,
see if anything makes its way down to me.
see if they wash up on the beach in Cabo. All
That'd be
right.
kind of fun, like a message in a bottle, but a message in a PSA slab.
Yes, that's that sounds good. I'm sure people have in this junk slab era. I'm sure there are a lot of slabs that are.
Yeah, maybe some HGA slabs or a CSG slab or whatever other 3 initials are probably out there.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. So we should get back on point. Back to Juan Soto. He is also in one of the other great sets of the last 5 years, which is 2018 Topps Chrome update.
Yes.
And here we find another card that was really interesting, which is the pink refractor, which is the only non-numbered parallel in that set for Soto. And that thing was a absolute roller coaster. Oh boy. All right, so let's not do the slab in the ocean thing.
Uh, M. Parsons says slabs won't be the only thing floating face down in the pool, which means that she might just be willing to end
Yeah.
it off your baseball card.
If anyone is wondering that, I think that's the first open threat of murder that Jeff and I have gotten during one of our lives.
Yeah. So in case anybody's on here and you get a knock on the door from Dateline wanting to talk about a mysterious murder in this
Yeah.
baseball card podcaster's life, you'll
It
know
would
what.
be really bad luck for her if it would be really bad luck for her if I dove in the pool and broke my neck and ended up floating face down, and we have a written record of her threatening me. There's no way she isn't going to prison.
The cops are going to get all these calls. What do they all have in common? Well, they're all baseball card nerds.
Not reliable on the stand. I think that it would all fall apart.
Hey, Slugger, thanks for joining us. Caleb says, "You think Series 1 will have Soto in a Yankees uniform?" No, they're
No,
never that fast. Even if
no way.
photo, they really want to get a black of Soto's first Yankee card, that's going to be an awesome card in black. But no, there's no way that'll be in Series 1. Sorry to say.
No. It might not even be until update. I don't know. Sometimes they're not quick with getting stuff out.
Right. They might wait till the next year. Shelly, appreciate this. Better content than the Thursday night game. I forgot there was even a Thursday night game going on, so appreciate that. Stephen St. John is encouraging Megan, to avoid leaving evidence behind of her future crimes.
Well, if
Yeah,
anyone would know,
that sending a fake receipt was a joke. I swear, Levi. Levi's worried about the stray bullets catching him in a murder investigation.
yeah. Listen, I mean, no one wants these chats looked at any closer than absolutely necessary, for sure. What was I going to
Yes.
say? I had a
So
thought.
back to the pink.
Back to the pink. So the pink is a really cool card in 2018. It's very bright. It's a card you and I both owned at one point. And we each had. You might still have a few. I don't have any.
None. No, but I did
Okay.
have. I opened a lot of those Target packs.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was back when you had like Target sent out coupons and stuff, and you could get like money off on your blaster boxes.
Oh yeah,
It seems insane.
like $20 to begin with. Yeah, that's right. Here, when I get back into the hobby, and I opened a ton of those. I put together, in fact, the whole pink set, if you remember.
I do. You'd think you would have gotten one like Ohtani X-Fractor or something out of there, but
no.
Oh well. But yeah, so that pink in a PSA 10, the pop report's pretty high. It's got to be approaching 800 at this point. The last sale I saw was about $325. The highest sale, Jeff, do you remember?
Well, I know it was over $1,000.
It was about $2,000.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Wow.
I remember there was a guy on Blowout that had 4, and he was asking $700 a piece. And we were looking at it and we're like, man, we should buy all 4. We didn't. The price at least about tripled. I think they were about $2,000 or $2,100, and we're like, oh man, why didn't we buy those? And then we just watched the absolute decline. So we should have bought and flipped, is what we should have done.
Yes.
And a lot of smart people, probably Filmington, did this. We should have been better at that, but we live and learn.
Did get rid of all of mine before the bottom cave, but it still was probably at 50% of the peak. So
honestly, the peak for some of these cards. Uh-oh. That's a very funny freeze for Jeff right there. He looks deeply puzzled.
All right.
Oh, we're back.
Lost you. Okay. There's a brief space-time continuum.
That'll happen. Problem. Check your flux capacitor, Jeff.
Yes. Let's go back. But so, yes, I heard everything you said. And, yeah, so while it's not a high-end or top-end Soto card, it's come so far down that it seems like a reasonable way to get into a Soto card without getting into his base cards.
Yeah, it's definitely printed less than all the base cards. And probably, I mean, I'm not going to put a number on it. It's hard to tell. But it is. Those pinks are absolutely, like, super bright in hand. Really cool. The worst part about Soto's Topps Chrome rookie cards is that all the autos are stickers. So if you're an auto snob or like Jeff and I tend to be, I just avoid. I have no interest in any of those cards. I'd rather have the refractor, which is numbered to 250, or the X-Fractor, which is numbered to 99.
The non-auto, yeah.
Non-autos. I'd rather have those.
One of them is 125. Is that?
I think that's the auto X-Fractor.
All right.
Yeah. So here's some. All right, here we go. Let's run through it real quick. His refractor non-auto is numbered to 250. The refractor auto, not numbered, I think. X-Fractor non-auto 99. X-Fractor auto 125. And then he's got golds.
Yeah.
Autos are both auto and regular are to 50. Orange 25. No orange. Sorry, reds are to 25 because it's update. Both the auto and non-auto. But like, man, the cards look so great without that sticker on there. I think Jeff and I agree or disagree. I think we prefer the non-autos, which is a weird thing to say.
It's a weird thing to say, but yes, it's true. And if you want the auto, you got to go to something like Bowman's Best or Heritage.
Yeah, Bowman's Best, Heritage, or Dynasty.
Yeah.
If there's a player that's going to put Dynasty on the map for baseball, it's going to be Soto.
Maybe, yeah.
Because his other rookie autos just aren't as cool looking.
Yeah.
But his Bowman's Best rookie auto, those are on card, and those are super affordable. His PSA 10 of the base, I think there's about 110, 115 of those. They sell for under $500 right now. I don't see how that's not a win.
Right. A rookie
on-card rookie auto.
One of the best hitters in the game.
Yeah, I think that's great. On a Chrome card, fantastic. Yeah, the Heritage, he's got the red inks. That might actually be his best rookie auto. I'm trying to run through the other options in my head. but I think that's hand numbered to what, 66?
Is that year 66, 67?
Something like that. Yeah, I get the heritage hand numbers and the tops blacks
Topps black. Yeah.
because those they both move a little bit. It's hard to keep track of what year is what number.
Yeah. I hear you.
You know, until I push that Aaron Judge PSA pop number out of
Yeah.
my head, it's gonna be hard to keep the other
More
ones
room in
straight.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
he's got some cool Bowman's Best refractors too. The Atomic looks really great, although that pop has climbed well over 100 now. At one point, that was $1,000 card.
Yeah.
God, this hobby is weird.
It is a weird hobby. And now, I mean, there's some people that are saying that we're not even close to the bottom. So if you're in that camp, then none of these probably are a good deal for you.
No.
You want to wait. I kind of feel like we're going to get one more lull after this little hype dies. After the hype of signing with the Yankees dies, a little bit around the holidays, people are a little focused on other things before the spring training ramps up again. So I'm going to try to target that to see if any new rookies that I want to target come on the market. But otherwise, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. All right, Shelly the Turtle just had a question. Do you want to can you read the comment?
All right, Shelly says, here's a fun question. Would you guys rather have the Soto SSP or the Red Ink Heritage Auto, both PSA 10?
No, the auto, easy.
The auto a PSA 10, because those are really, really hard to gem.
Yeah.
And what one didn't PSA just post one that they just graded an Ohtani Red Ink?
Yeah, an Ohtani Red Ink, yeah.
PSA 10.
Yeah, absolutely. The auto, the Red Ink auto, those are special cards.
I was
rarely see them.
Yeah, but yes, all those Red Inks from 2018 are hard. Their centering's not great.
The paper stock too.
Yeah.
The back of those just chip so easily.
Yeah. So I would say for sure that.
Yeah, and there are significantly fewer Red Inks than there are SSPs. I think right now I'm pretty sure the SSP PSA 10 pop why is everything 3 letters? The SSP PSA 10 pop is currently greater than the total pop of the Heritage Red Inks.
Correct, for sure. It's got to be
definitely Heritage Red Ink.
Yeah, and somebody else said before that didn't the last Soto SSP went for $27.99, which is way less than I would expect his Red Ink to tend to go for.
A better analogy would be, you want the SSP in a PSA 10, or do you want the Red Ink in like a PSA 7?
Yes.
That's one you got to think about.
That's a good question.
And I'm probably going Red Ink
in a 7.
In a 7. It's tough because I love a good SSP, but I think I'd still take the Red Ink because he has so few on-card rookie autos.
That is really tough. Man, seeing the 10, a Gatorade bath in a 10.
You could always crack the Red Ink PSA 7 and list it on eBay and say PSA 10 ?
That's true. And then get enough to buy a real one. I don't know. PSA 8, I would say yes. PSA 7, I'm still trying to decide.
Yeah. All right, I'm happy. I came across
Red Ink autos are underappreciated for sure. I think so, and especially because for some of these players, they're one of the few on-card autos. So they have part, and they have a history. They're starting to build a legacy, which is important.
Yeah, I would take a look at Bowman's Best, especially if you're looking to get a good-looking Soto and without spending a lot of money. The Atomics, I think, are running around $300 right now, and that's a cool-looking card.
Yeah,
you can get like a nice numbered something like green, gold, red, blue. None of those are going to cost you $1,000. Not even a gold, I wouldn't think. People just don't respect Bowman's Best for right or wrong.
Last BGS 9.5 out of 10 sold for $28.85 in September. Wow, so your comp of the two is very, it's very comparable, about 2,900 for a 9.5. So that makes me think that a 10 would go for 4.
Yeah, for now at this point, yeah. But that's really interesting how close they were. But in those two, I'll take the BGS 9.5 Red Ink all day over the PSA 10.
Absolutely,
the Red Ink is just so cool. I think Jeff and I have 2. Yeah. We have an Ohtani and an Alvarez, and they're just so cool. Like something about the Red Ink. It's probably just because
And I'm glad that's one decision we got to give Topps props for, that they didn't water that
Yeah.
down by having some sort of red ink variation in all their products. It's just, yeah, that red ink on the paper stock is really nice.
Yes, they did a good job of making it special and keeping it special.
Yeah, agreed. But that's a great would you rather, Shelly. We may have to steal that for a spitballing episode, because that's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, good
good.
job on those comps. I wouldn't have expected them to be that close. Maybe that means the red ink is a good opportunity to sneak in there.
Yeah, I mean, even the low end of the red ink, you got to have enough money to come up with to buy. So
Yeah,
yeah,
we are familiar, and unfortunately, Jeff, you and I are familiar with the low end of red inks.
yes, we are. Yeah, but again, there's one that we had decided that we'd rather have the card than try to worry about a different card in a higher grade. So
Right, right. Um,
with the
but
Ohtani,
I'm trying to think where I had a thought there, but I don't know. I'm 44, my mind just wanders.
yeah. So
Not
there's
wander, but
a lot of options for Soto. Again, I don't know. It's Chris bought one now, maybe
I
now
did.
time, because a few will pop out that you may not see again, in which that was the case with one of Chris's. Do you want to
Yeah.
talk about that, or you want to wait till you get it to talk about?
I'll wait till I get it.
Okay.
And
Uh,
I mean, assuming I get it, fingers crossed.
right. So there's some
Um,
that don't come up very often, so you may just have to take a bite when you get a chance, like now when there's hype and people put them out there. And some others you probably could wait a little bit, wait a few weeks till it dies down before spring training comes back
yes,
up.
certainly don't go buying any like high pop cards right now because those are going to see a little spike. But yeah, it's always like it's when a new product comes out as well. You have to deal with there's a trade off. Like some
Yeah.
of the really rare stuff is only going to pop up when the product is first ripped. Just like when Harper was in the World Series last year, a couple of his rookie like Chrome SSPs popped up. And there's no one's going to sell those unless there's a reason for the price to spike. And I feel like Soto, same thing.
Yeah. Right, because you'd come so far down that everybody was just holding them, waiting for some
Yep.
new. Let's get them out. Shelly says, while you guys were deciding, a 2017 Topps Sapphire Gold of the Braves team card popped up. Went to click on it, and it sold.
Yep. I had that happen today. I was looking. There was a Hope Diamond, a Freddie Freeman Hope Diamond, Topps rookie card in a BGS 9. I think the centering wasn't great, but there was an offer was sent out. The seller had it up for like $19.99 and sent out an offer at like $16.95. So I was really looking and like zooming in on the slab to see what the centering was, if the corners and edges looked okay. And while I was zooming in on it, when I zoomed out, it had sold. Those things happen, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Sometimes you gotta grab what you want. Don't wait around.
In a similar vein, Chris, you want to tell the Machado story? Machado red ink story?
Oh God. No, that one's too painful, Jeff. That one hurts. So there was a Manny Machado rookie red ink up on eBay, and those are numbered at a 10 back in 2013. Although the Garrett Cole is not numbered, which is very strange. I think it stopped our friend Jake from buying it, even though the price was laughably low. Anyway, separate conversation. So this Manny Machado was a PSA 9 with a 9 auto. I don't know why they dinged the auto. It was a little small, but whatever. Really, really cool card. Arguably his best rookie auto. Numbered at a 10. You know, maybe the Topps Chrome red you like a little bit more, but whatever. Really, really nice card. It was up for $1,300. So Jeff and I had talked about splitting this and maybe selling a different Machado we had to cover most of it. We were debating. We are like, we'll talk about it in the morning. In the morning, like I was busy with the dog. I didn't check my email and I didn't see anything on eBay, but I got an email from eBay saying the seller had dropped the price to 600 American dollars. And I was just like, oh my God. Like, I'm not even going to talk to Jeff about it. I'm just going to buy it and we'll deal with it later. So I clicked on the email. I went to open up the image and the card had already sold. But not only had it sold, but it sold at the original price of $1,300. So I guess an offer was sent out to watchers, and somehow after the offer was sold, some random person saw it and just snatched it right up.
That seller has to be thanking their lucky stars. What are
Yeah,
the odds? What are the
I
odds?
don't know. That's a
Over
bummer.
percent off offer out, it not being seen in time by any of the people who are already interested in the card to be able to buy
Yeah,
it, and yet somebody happened to wander along and pay the full asking price for it. That's
yeah,
crazy.
pretty. Yeah, yeah. It also means that I I wonder how much time had actually elapsed. Like if I happen to, I don't get alerts when my emails come in on my phone, but if I happen to have checked my email that second, like I wonder what the timing was. Anyway, eBay wins and losses.
Yeah.
Things can get very close. And amazingly, about an hour after I missed that Freeman Hope Diamond, a group chat that Jeff and I are in, we got a message from a guy saying like, "Hey, check out my latest pickup," and it was that card. It's like, you son of a bitch.
It was that hard.
Oh, Jorge, you saw that one too, right? I mean, it's not a great picture of Manny Machado. Manny Machado is great at baseball, but he's not like super. He's not handsome, and I don't know why they pick these really close ups on these guys sometimes. But
All right, so
yeah,
boys, he had an opportunity on 2011 Topps Update Black Mike Trout back in the day for 300. Contemplated too long. Wow, that's tough. That's one you wish you could have back.
yeah, that hurts. But if it makes you feel better, the person more upset about that than you is the guy that sold it.
Right, exactly. He's telling his friends, I had one and I sold it for $300.
Yeah,
Jorge signal at work and saw the email when he got home. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, stuff like that. It's worse to miss. It's bad to miss out, but it's worse when you had it physically in your hand and you let it go.
Yeah.
Man, but
Yeah.
still hurts. I get it. Still hurts.
Hey,
I mean,
the Heritage Blue Ink Auto is a great card, Jorge. That's
yeah,
great.
those aren't like overprinted either. It's not like there's 1,000 of those. Like they do a pretty good job of keeping that number reasonable. Those are hard to pull.
Yes, and somebody had a comment earlier about how talking about podcast and spitball, and thanks to those of you who have checked it out and wanting us to do it live, which would be awesome. So we'll have to bring that to the other guys on spitballing, because as far as Chris and I know, like this is it. We know how to get two people on a live chat
Yeah, I don't know
and
how to do that.
stretching it. But it would be great. It would be great to do a live with the guys. So maybe Teapot or Scott, who's in the younger generation, might have some idea how to do that. Do
Yeah,
a legit spitball and live. That would be fun.
maybe we could do it on Instagram. I've seen that. I've seen a 4-person live on Instagram, but it's a mess. It's just 4 people, like at least 2 people talking over each other at all times. You really have to like almost hold up like a stick when you want to talk.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And to do that live, I mean, I tell you, we need like a live bleeper to get
But
the curses out. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. All right. Well, Jorge, we'll bring it to the powers that be and suggest it. Any final things you want to say, Chris, before we let people go make the rest of their Thursday evening?
Jorge was just talking about mid-season, and it got me to an idea that I've not yet broached to you, but I'm curious if the few people who are still with us what they think. Maybe we could do one of our blabbins. I feel like we should do an ESPN game, and just while the game is going on, like we could go live and sort of just talk about the game and cards at the same time. I think that could be kind of fun. There might be a 10-second delay. I'm not sure what exactly. I think there's something, but I feel like we could do like our own Manning cast.
I would love that. That would be a lot of fun, especially some of these players, like seeing Soto in pinstripes. It might be a fun time to do a game.
Yeah, yeah,
Ohtani up, yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. And I know the people that join us on here always have a lot of insightful things to say, so it would be a lot of fun. So yeah,
yeah,
we'll have to have our crack team get on that scheduling for.
yeah. We'll see if we can. We'll see if we can do that. Maybe my wife and I can have a trip planned for just the right time.
Right. Maybe you could do it from the ballpark. You know,
Ah, ay, ay, ay. All right, thanks, guys. That's encouraging. I appreciate the feedback. Thank you.
Levi and Jorge, appreciate the support for that idea. Yeah.
We'll try to do that. All right.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, sometime between now and next Wednesday, we'll do an emergency live PSA reveal.
Yes. Yes.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, Mad City Brew is right. We could not. You can't hear the game or see the game.
just don't show the game live on YouTube. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that'd be breaking some laws, I'm sure.
Yep. We need written consent from
Okay.
Major League Baseball, not as Homer Simpson said, implied oral consent.
It's got to be written. All right.
Got to be written.
Um, Speaking of doing things in person, I was thinking of doing something similar at the Burbank show, because now they've announced the Burbank show. I don't have the dates on me, but it's in February. I want to say
Yeah, I
January.
think it's February in Ontario, and then
Uh,
August again in Anaheim. But yeah, February in Ontario.
Yeah, February in Ontario, which would be great for us to go out there again. And if anybody can meet up, it'd be fun. Or we could
Yeah.
do a blabbing from the parking lot, perhaps, where we could get a signal.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah.
Let's tentatively plan on that.
All right, that sounds good. Uh, okay, well, everybody, please make sure you subscribe and click on
Woo.
the notification bell because, like Chris said, we're going to be doing live at some point between now and when he goes on his fateful trip next week. Once we get our PSA cards back,
Possibly final trip.
yes, and keep those important numbers in your head. Jorge says that Aaron Judge's SSB rookie population is 11, and Earl
Yep.
Webb is putting Freeman's records back,
Yep.
doubles.
Last guy to hit 60 doubles. Yep.
Maybe this year.
I love the fact, by the way, that is in Jorge's head.
Yes.
Like that name just earwormed its way in there.
Something important that either your kids or your parents wish you would remember, but instead Earl Webb stuck in there. So
Yep.
at least we've done some good here.
Yep. There's a state capital that's gone from Jorge's memory. That's never coming back. Hopefully it's Vermont or someplace that he'll never be.
With the Judge information. So thanks everybody for joining us again. Please like and subscribe. Leave any comments below for what you guys want us to talk about next time, or things that we missed, errors that we made, which might be a lot of comments. And I guess we'll see you at some point next week. Anything else, Chris?
Yeah, I'm excited. There's one card in the sub that there are 0 of at PSA. So we are very excited to have the only one, and we'll see what it is.
As long as it makes it through the process, we'll have the one on the Pop Report.
That's right.
All right. Thanks everybody again for joining us. Please find us on Instagram, Baseball Card Addict, and My Favorite Cardboard. Also find us on Spitball and Cards, which is on YouTube and Spotify. And we'll see you guys soon. Thanks, everyone.